Mortal Shell 2 is a sign that real gamers are still in the industry, and I love it. The fact that they hit us with an intro lore drop, and then once the tutorial is over they just throw us into the open world is amazing. Yes, this open world is rather tiny when you look at the map, but the biomes change so drastically you realise everything is just tightly condensed together. Honestly, it can be like going through a maze sometimes, there is so much verticality. Now what about the gameplay? I'll give it to you straight, it's pretty based, that once you get into the open world, you can get access to two of the best shells in the game. One of them having a fat ass, so the half of the gamers that got the game just for her will be very excited for that one. There are so many different options for weapons too. You have your 8 main melee weapons, where I'll give it to you straight, faster weapons equals better in this game. Sorry, Guts lovers. It made me sad at first too that the heavy weapons suck ass, especially when a fast as fuck spear does about the same damage but way faster. You have 8 sidearms as well, ranging from a crossbow to a fucking machine gun or bazooka, so that's pretty fun. I can already sense a balance patch coming soon, let's just say that. There's also 8 shells that you can use, with each of them having unique powers and passives. Also, what is this? The rule of 8 or something? As I was saying earlier, Proxima is really decent at combat, and she is an ass, so she's amazing. Teal can chain assassinations with his stealth, so that's broken. Just like his targeting, if you don't lock on before you try to stab them in the back. Not long after those two, you can unlock Aerodrome, stance break enemies constantly. So yeah, you can basically break the game pretty easily. So I was instantly hooked in. I thought I'd save you the trouble of watching build videos and just give you the best builds in my review. Leave a comment about if you actually want a tier list or something though, that could be pretty fun. But my biggest gripe with the builds, which I don't know how the devs didn't even consider this, is that you have a finite amount of glimpses, which are what you use to upgrade your shells each playthrough, forcing you to do a New Game Plus if you want to actually try different shells with their upgrades. Which, when you upgrade shells, you get their whole backstory, which is honestly some of the only story content in the game and is really good. So it's terrible that it's locked off for so many shells in your first playthrough. What makes that even worse is that as you level up your main body, you get shell points that you can assign to your shells, like skill points, right? But it's not a static number you can use on every single shell, it's a pooled number. Meaning if you level up a lot, you can fully invest in 2 shells, but then you have nothing for any other shells. You can refund them all for free and then try out those other shells, but why not just make it a static number for every shell based on player level? Why waste our time having to set up our old shells all over again? Now, performance is where this game actually starts to have faults. There are quite a few bugs, some I'm honestly shocked made it past QA. I was just saying how abilities can straight up not work without target lock and it will hit nothing, so that's insane. Not long after I first started playing, I loaded my save file, only for it to hard crash 3 times in a row. No explanation, it just did it for some reason, and happens from time to time when loading up the game to play for the day. I've also had reports of performance issues and frame drops, but at the time of writing, I'm halfway through the game, and I'd say I haven't had a single issue yet. Maybe my PC is just a beast, or I'm a very lucky man. I will say though, if you aren't a fan of Souls-like games, this won't do anything for you. Elden Ring is still uncontested, and the amount of enemy variety in this game is low. After a good few hours, you can easily tire of using the same weapons, and in-game enemies can literally use the same attacks and have similar looks, like the enemies found at the very beginning. For a smaller team and studio, I guess this makes sense, but it still sucks nonetheless. But yeah, if you can get past all that, the game is a good time. There's some work that really needs fixing up, but I'm really happy gaming is still alive and popping out bangers now and again. I can't wait for the mod that comes out in a few days that makes Proxima's ass 3 times the size. Alright, bye.